Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Carlos and today I want to talk about Monster Clay. As a disclaimer, the creators of Monster Clay doesn't even know that exists. So this is just my opinion. I want to talk about the materials. Finally, a few months ago, I finished my bucket of Monster Clay and I want to show you what I did with that. And I wanted to do this video sooner, but I was moving and I even have a box with all these pieces that I dropped, and it wasn't pretty, but I'm gonna show you what happened. And just if you're a beginner, I really recommend these materials, and let's start. And the first thing that I want to talk about is what is Monster Clay. Monster Clay is an amazing clay that, just to make it really easy, is an amazing product. I saw reviews and things online that it surprised me that they give this to family members. They hated it because it was really hard and just they didn't use it. But Monster Clay comes in a container. It does come in a solid state, so you cannot use it right away. The only thing you have to do is put it in the microwave. Depending where you are in the world, depending on the power of your microwave, you have to put between 2 and 4 minutes. I will suggest to put just 2 minutes and then increase 1 minute at a time. But after you do that, you take it out of the microwave and pretty much you can start working right away. Of course, experience will tell you exactly how warm you want the clay or how useful the clay is going to be for you in certain states, because you can overcook it, you can even burn it, you can even boil it. And one of the things that's going to happen the first time that you use it is that after you put it like 3 minutes, you're going to have the layer of clay that probably you don't even will be aware that something happened, no? Until you touch it and see that it's soft. But also something that you won't be able to see is that underneath that clay is completely liquid clay. If you push too much and try to touch, probably going to burn yourself. So I suggest just grab a tool, grab a spatula, and try to mix it. But beside that, it's really, really easy. It's really amazing. Compared to polymer clay, Monster Clay, you are ready, like I mentioned before, 2-3 minutes, and you can start working. With polymer clay, sometimes it takes me 1-2 hours to condition the clay, and sometimes because that's the only time that I have to wait another day to really work on my sculpture. And sometimes it doesn't stay that soft like I did a day before. So for sure, this will save you a lot of time. Another thing that happened with Monster Clay is that it is warm, allow you to create your shape, but also cools down and becomes solid, which that allow you to work on different stages and create details, create shapes on a really, really easier way. I just love it. One of the things that happened, like I mentioned before, I dropped all my sculptures and they didn't break. They have some dents, they have some, like over here, the face got a squish. It's simple things that can be fixed. But if it was polymer clay, it will shatter, it will have tiny pieces, and it will be a mess. So that's the advantage of Monster Clay. I love polymer clay. I will still use it. I have many of my sculptures polymer clay behind me. But for sure, Monster Clay, I really, really like it. One of the downsides is that it's not really meant to be a clay that you create something and it is forever like the polymer clay. This clay with heat, it will melt. So it's meant to be reused. Now you create something, you melt it and you reuse it as many times as you want. Actually, one of the things that happened with me that I did on purpose and kind of abuse of the container of the Monster Clay is that I put it many, many, many times on the microwave. Even if I wasn't doing a sculpture, even if just a random days, I put on the microwave just because I wanted to see how much the bucket can stand on the microwave. And I was surprised it never melted. It was good. I never put it more than 4 minutes at a time, but it was really, really good. And it comes with a container that you can use it. So I know, and you have to be careful. I saw online that someone got deliver a Monster Clay where the bucket was cracked. So if you put it in the microwave, of course, it's going to leak. So just be aware of that. So the first thing that I want to show you is this face. this mask. Pretty much, if you, for makeup artists, for those professionals that create mask or use any rubber or special effects, they have to have a face, either a man, a woman, and even a kid, and put the clay on top and create their piece. This one is a little bit thicker. I could have just do it thinner and even have extra clay to create something else. This was my very first and my only mask that I've done. And I mean, I like it. Something that I want to do now, because the purpose, like I was mentioning, the monster clay is to create something like this and then to create the mold, which I did, and then create the replica. So I have this replica which made out of resin. It's hard. I have the mold, so I don't have to worry about losing it or anything. So I can now destroy the mask. Something that I can do because it's already in my face. I can just grab my heat gun, go over it, and it will become soft. And I'm gonna be able to move things around, to smooth things, to completely create another mask, and just keep working like that. Create another mold, create another replica, cast on different materials my masks, and just keep working and working and working almost forever with just this amount of clay. Unless I wanna really go overboard and create something more dramatic. So that's one of the use of monster clay. Another thing over here, in total, with just my bucket, I created 7 pieces, including the mask. Of course, everything will depend on the technique that you use. The mask is a little bit flat, even if it is big. It's still, I mean, it has more clay probably than this one. So I'm gonna show you this one. This is my diorama, a piece that I did for Halloween last year. So it has been already, I'm almost there. I'm gonna be almost a year next October. And this one is completely monster clay. I did put a base, a wood base. I put wires on the ghost and the main ghost and some aluminum foil. Those 3 things, wood, aluminum foil, and wires, are your best friend to create any type of sculpture. But like you can see, in this one I drop it also and it's still alive. I mean, I'm really gonna say that because if it is polymer clay, it just get destroyed. So now I have this one. This is from my favorite movie, the Ghostbusters. I'm talking about the originals. And this one, if I were to make some spheres out of aluminum foil and just create all the spheres, I probably would have been able to create 2 or even 3 marshmallows. This is completely made out of monster clay. So it's a lot of clay in this tiny guy. Now I want to show you She Venom. I also put a wood base, some wires, some aluminum foil. But I know that I didn't need it to, just like I did with the marshmallow, I didn't need it to put anything. No, this one doesn't have anything. It's still a stand, still being a good sculpture. Monster clay, it becomes solid enough. So I could have just get away without putting anything inside. I use the side too because I'm used to more with working with polymer clay. And I have here Dobby. This one also, I only put a little pieces of wood. If you have something in your sculpture that you think could be fragile, or if someone accidentally tap it or something and it can break, I really like to just put support. Another thing that I did is that I put the monster clay to my pasta machine, and I was able to create this piece of cloth really fast and easy. That's something else that you can do with monster clay. And I have my sorting hat from the Harry Potter world. I really like it. I really like the details. And one thing that I have to mention is that I have many things to mention. But one thing is that if you want to keep them, like you see, I kind of like these ones. So I'm should I melt it and reuse the clay, or should I leave it like that and just buy another clay? I still undecided, but I like it, so for now I'm just gonna keep them. If you wanna keep them, I've seen people just paint them with acrylic paint, and they just keep them forever. Just make sure that it's not close to a window or that it's not really on a hot place, and you should be fine. The other thing that I wanted to say is that Monster Clay make everything so easy and fast. Like I mentioned before, I created these pieces just in one day. While any of my other pieces of polymer clay, most of them has been almost a week. And well, probably some 2 days, depending. I don't have much time. That's why my pieces, they're not really detailed and they're not really perfect, because I don't really have time. I barely have one time, probably a week, and that if I'm lucky. And when I'm talking about one day, I'm not talking about 24 hours. I'm talking about just one afternoon, or one, even most of the time I do it really early in the morning at 2, 3 o'clock or 5, depending when I wake up or when I go to sleep. And I usually, it's only 2 to 4 hours. So that's like my day to create something. And with this one, I was surprised that it took me just 2 hours, maybe 3, to create these ones. So it does make everything a little bit faster. Polymer clay, like I say, it's not that it's more complicated, but just the fact that I have to spend some time conditioning the clay and just working it and then baking it, it adds up, no? For sure, you don't have to create a mold and you don't have to create a copy of resin. So, I mean, I love both clays, and just so you know what you're dealing with. And another thing that I really love about mustard clay is that because you can melt it, you can just put it in a mold. So I have this mold for many years. I've done when you create molds, they say that it should last 5 to 10 copies. To me, I've done like 20 or more, and it's still going. Of course, the more casting you do, you start losing some details. But because this is a mask, you can barely notice. So I melt it, and I'm going to show you how I open it. I have my replica of my mask and using mustard clay. And that's pretty cool because I've used it for many things. I have also a resin mask. I have a concrete, no, a cement mix mask. And pretty much this is cool because this mold, and I've shown in many of my videos how you can create these molds and you can put anything on them. No, you basically, I have, like I mentioned before, cement, I have resin, I have monster clay, and other materials that I haven't shown that I want to do a video where I can put in this mold, and probably I'm going to do it just to show all the material that you can put. But it's just amazing. Check my videos. I've done many showing this mold. This is the Ribbon 25 from Smooth On, and it's amazing material, not the cheapest thing. But the cool part of how easy I just melted, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and a couple more minutes, and it's dry, and I can keep working on it. And if I wanted to completely create another mask or just different types, I could keep just doing it. And it's just an amazing way to make your life easier and be faster. So I think that's it for today. I love it. If you have any comments, please comment below, subscribe. I'm going to leave the links of every video of every piece. I'm going to leave a link on Monster Clay. As of today, I don't have any affiliate links on my videos, but that could change, but I will let you know on the description. Enjoy art and see you next time.